In this video assignment, I will be addressing three specific topics. The first one I will be discussing is the definition and facilitation of social competence. Secondly, I will discuss how to support social development in early childhood education. Third, I will discuss how stress can impact social and emotional development in the early years. Social competency is the child's ability to interact with their peers and adults in a social environment. Being a teacher, I see children interacting with their peers, parents, and with us teachers every day. Some days it is surprising to see how some kids interact with others. It is obvious that children primarily learn their social skills at the home. We try as teachers to be involved with them as we try to teach them the right way of interacting with others. Socialization normally starts when a child is born and carries on through childhood. This process normally entails interacting with different kinds of people and in different environments. Some environments allow children to be loud and they are able to run and scream. In other places, they must sit still and not be allowed to talk. It is good and important for kids to know what places they are allowed to be loud and play or be quiet and sit still. When looking at the importance of social skills, it is good to have a few points that will guide and encourage early childhood teachers. CATS gives a list of social skills that teachers can use to help them guide children in social skills. A person that easily joins others in work or play is able to take turns and shows an interest in others. These are just a few pointers that can be used to guide children. As a teacher, we have continual opportunities to facilitate social development in the lives of the children. Whether it is in playtime, group learning, or one-on-one interaction, there is always opportunity to help the children grow in their social skills. The next topic I will be discussing is the definition of how-tos of supporting emotional development. Emotional development is an ongoing process in a child's life that includes learning about their own emotions and how they are feeling. Teachers need to know how to support each child's emotional development. Hawkins gives 3 pointers of emotional competence that is good to create in the classroom setting. The first one is emotional expressiveness. Emotional expressiveness is when children learn how to control their emotions and know what emotions to use in specific situations. Emotional knowledge is the second area of emotional competence. This is when children learn to know what each emotion is, and when someone is feeling a certain way, that they know what emotion is being felt. The last area is emotional regulation. Emotional regulation is when children learn to control their feelings around other people and circumstances. There are 2 types of emotional groups that Plutchik discusses. There are core emotions and complex emotions. Core emotions are, for example, joy, anger, sadness, and fear. Complex emotions are emotions like frustration, jealousy, and boredom. Knowing how to deal with feelings is also an important component in supporting emotional development. Instead of trying to change children's emotions, we should rather help them work through their emotions in a positive way. A few ways that can help them work through their emotions and make them realize what they are going through is helping them recognize and label their feelings, accepting feelings, and adapting appropriate responses to their emotions. Recognizing and labeling feelings is important. Children need to identify and know what they are feeling. Once they know what they are feeling, then it is easier to help them work through whatever happened and what made them feel that way. Accepting feelings is a positive process in learning how to grow emotionally, and it is not negative. It is part of life and growing up. Many situations come up and lead to a number of different emotions. Accepting how we feel is positive, and some days are good and everything is happy, and others are not that positive, and that is okay. Finding appropriate responses to emotions is important in growing up and maturing. It is okay to throw a fit, scream, and cry, but children must also learn how to use their words and explain the situation and how they are feeling. Dealing with emotions in a positive way in the end gives life and happiness. If children and even adults do not know how to deal with emotions in a healthy way, they can build up so much inside that one day something will happen and they will crack, not knowing what to do or how to handle the situation at hand. Helping to facilitate children in this process is very important in helping children in their emotional development. Stress also plays a role in emotional and social development. Children feel stress just as much as adults. It is different in many ways, but yet still the same. When children go through tough or tragic situations, they become very sensitive to people and situations. Normally, when that happens, stress is the first response to come up to the surface. Stress is a real feeling, and children are affected by it. Stress can be caused by a number of factors in a child's life. The first one is family circumstances. In a child's life, family is everything, and it is all they have. If there is any problem at home, the child is automatically affected by it. Every child's idol is their parents. Parents who both work and barely spend time with their children can cause stress on the children. Children need love and knowledge that they are accepted and cared for. Early pressure to exceed is another factor that causes stress on a child. Performance is a big word for a young child. No child in the early years should ever be pressured to perform. Children should be able to be free and do what they want to do, like explore and figure things out for themselves, and not always have grown-ups come behind them and control and put pressure on them to do things they do not want to do. Social media is another factor. Media nowadays play a big role in how children see themselves and what they think they should be. They see grown-ups that are successful and work hard, and if they don't measure up to that standard, then they feel that they don't succeed in life. That's not true. Children need to believe in themselves and know that they are capable of big things. If they work hard at something, they will get it right. The last factor that makes an impact on children is when children are abused and neglected. Not being a part of a family or structure, it makes an impact. When a family is under a lot of stress, normally the parents react in harsh ways towards the children and they get hurt and pushed away in the process. When a child is abused or neglected, they are hurt and scared for a long time. It is hard for children who have experienced abuse or neglect to accept love and affection from anyone. The process of trying to get them somewhat back to normal is hard, takes a lot of time and patience. All the sources of stress negatively impact a child's social and emotional development. Stress can cause children to sometimes take steps backwards in their social and emotional development. It is very important for teachers to be aware of each child's personal situations and be able to recognize possible sources of stress that can help them navigate through the challenging situations. If stress is not dealt with, then children can be hindered in their social and emotional development. In this speech, I have shared about social competence and how to facilitate the social development of children. I've also discussed emotional development in early years. I also addressed how stress can be a factor in social and emotional development. I have felt that all these things play a role in every child's development and are very important for children to have a solid support system in this growth process. Being a kid is fun. Being able to be free and not worry about life is the most joyful thing for a kid. If kids have a healthy environment to grow, then they will mature in the important areas of life.